ask you something which I've kind of come across throughout my research. Is a lot of people have this feeling like, oh, it's their fault. If they really wanted to, they could come out of poverty. They just gotta put a little bit of American muscle into it and get out.
That's something that a view that a lot of people subscribe to, because you see these isolated anecdotes of people pulling themselves up from their own bootstraps. It's kind of the way America was founded, that individuals got on a boat and came over here and they conquered the land, and they made it their own. And you see the big tycoons, from the 19th century that were born into poverty and then pulled themselves up to be some of the wealthiest individuals in history. It's understandable how individuals can view it that way, and it's irresponsible of somebody in my position not to recognize the obligation that people have to take control of their own lives and of their own future, and to be willing to work towards their own betterment. At the same time, I think that it's incomplete to see things that way. I grew up in Boston myself, and I remember as a child reading an article in the Globe about this young man who was, born homeless, abandoned by his family, still enrolled himself in high school, went to the library after school every day for several hours, then checked himself into a shelter and did this for years, and eventually did so well in high school and so well in his SATs that he got a full ride to Harvard. I also recognize the fact that not everyone is an exceptional individual.
Yeah.
If individuals aren't willing to work for their own betterment, then there is nothing that we can do for that individual. But there is a population in between those two extremes, between the extreme of the exceptional individual who's going to make it no matter what, and the unexceptional individual who's not going to make it no matter what you do. There is a huge spectrum of the population that can be tilted one way or the other. I'd have to say, actually, that it goes back to the fact that I grew up Catholic, and I went to Catholic school, and while I'm not necessarily a practicing Catholic, that idea of service was instilled in me at an early age. After school, I decided to join AmeriCorps for a couple of years, and that really kind of solidified my bent towards public service. That was a tremendous 2 years of my life. I worked for Habitat for Humanity in Baltimore for a year, not building houses, but writing strategic plans and analyzing policy and doing things like I'm doing now. And then I worked for an AmeriCorps group called NCCC for a year. And a week after I joined, Hurricane Katrina hit down in New Orleans, and we were dispatched to the Gulf Coast, and I was a team leader, and we cleaned up, or we started off offering meals and providing those services and constructing FEMA camps, and then we switched to cleaning up and then rebuilding, and that was the year that I decided that I wasn't going to law school, which I originally had planned on, and that I wanted to be involved with local public policy. A desire to not let go of one's community and one's home, and that's where things really got done. We spend a lot of time talking about national policy, but it's really at the local level that you see a difference being made. And you see individuals getting into their truck and helping their neighbor clean out their house. You see individuals getting into boats and going roof to roof and helping pull off their neighbors. That's where the difference occurs. So I went and I got my master's in public policy, and that was out in Massachusetts, where I'm from, and I had met my wife in AmeriCorps, actually, and she wanted to come back to Wisconsin, where she is from, and to get her master's in social work. So that's what brought me to Milwaukee, and when this job presented itself soon after we moved here, it was exactly what I wanted to do. SDC is, with its focus on poverty, its focus on creating communities and helping people, it was, again, the perfect match.
Is it a sin? Is it a crime? Loving you, dear, like I do? If it's a crime, then I'm guilty of loving you. Maybe I'm